My bad, y'all. Hold on. Let me mute the TV. Okay. I forget sometimes. So back to it. So this one's kind of a little rated R, I would say. You know, my hat's always crooked. I'm always wearing a hat. I don't know. So um, back to summer '06. I feel like I should give a little insight. This one might be one for the adults, kind of, if there's any kids listening. So so, and I'm telling everything again to give an idea of what my life was like, what life is like in the ghetto, in the hood, for all people, and mainly me, mainly somebody in a wheelchair. My best friend, me and him, we used to, we experienced women before my accident. He was, of course, still good, but unfortunately, we weren't inexperienced. We weren't virgins. At a very young age, where I'm from is very sick. Honestly, I feel like, I don't know about now, but growing up, the older guys, that would hang around my brother, or when I would go around them, because my brother was kind of mature. Me, I was too. My mom raised us. She always thought she was gonna die at a young age, so my mom would always be like, um, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die at a young age. And I notice I steer off topic in my videos. I rewatch some of my videos, and the title and the video don't match, and I'm gonna try to stop doing that. So, anyways, so we were with girls, experienced women, unfortunately, and guys where I'm from, the older guys would always ask, "Are you still a virgin? You better not be a virgin." They'll, "I bet you're a virgin. You never got your thing wet. I bet you it's never been touched." Stupid things like, "I bet you don't take piss. You go pee pee." Just demeaning things to try to make you feel like a child, to degrade you. It's dumb where I'm from. So these guys would always ask me, and I wasn't inexperienced. I was with a couple of women, a couple of girls before my accident, same age. So after my accident, me and my best friend, he wanted me to be with the woman, because that's what we did. We were with girls, and young guys, all they think about is girls. While where I'm from, it just, oh my goodness. And I can only imagine now with the internet being the way it is. We didn't have the internet like you guys do now, with the phones in your hands and you're on the internet. Like, we had flip phones, and you I mean, the pictures were like this, like, barely anything you could see. It's all crazy looking, if anything. So it wasn't like today. Oh my gosh, I feel sorry for you guys. I would be so much worse than I am now, I would think. Anyways, so me and this dude, we're going around everywhere, in the summer. He's learning my body. I told you guys when I got hot the one time, and I need to rewatch all my videos because I noticed one of them cut out, and I don't know what you guys missed. So, anyways, like I explained to you guys one time I got hot. He snatched water hose from this older gentleman, but the older gentleman understood after he did it and sprayed me. You know what I mean? And he broke it down to the man like, "Hey, he's getting sick. My boy gets sick if he gets hot. And he could pass out. I don't know what happens if that happens. Da da da." So we're going around, and he asked me. He was like, "Hey, bro, have you been with the woman since your accident?" And I haven't been, and I haven't been, and I'm going to tell the truth, because I don't want to lie in my story at all, because if I ever get called out or questioned, I just want to be as honest as I could be possible, So I cannot feel down below, cannot feel at all. Period. It still works, not to be TMI, but and I noticed for quads it works mostly. For paraplegics, for the paras I met, and a paraplegic is somebody who's paralyzed from the waist down. So quads, I don't know why we have a lot more nerves and situations like our legs shake. And when our legs shake, that's a spasm. Our bodies get sick in the summer, in the heat, or in some people do in the cold. I don't in the cold, I do in the heat. Some paras, they don't have none of those problems. Their legs don't shake at all though. They don't have problems. They could be in the heat and the cold just fine. But their nerves aren't working so as good as ours, which is weird because they have more movement than us. So from what I know, because I'm always wrong, and I always think I know something, and then sure enough, I don't know what I'm talking about. So I could be 100% wrong, and if I am, forgive me. But from the most part, from what I met in people, that's what it is. We call quads and paras. So, and I know it's kind of dark. My bad, y'all. Anyways, so yeah. So I remember he asked like, "Hey, have you been with the girl since your accident?" And I'm like, "No." And then that's when he was like, okay, I know, there's, in every neighborhood, there's neighborhood girls, and he knew of a girl who was very fast, very, very, very fast. And he was like, anybody could hook up with her at any time, any point. You just got to show her interest, and stuff like that. And I was like, what kind of girl is like that? So we get around her, and I understand, no disrespect to her or anybody like that. But the reason why I said I understand, and God forgive me, may she forgive me, I didn't mean to say that. But anyways, she wasn't. To me, she wasn't that pretty, And I'm like, maybe that's why, she's insecure, and maybe that's her way of trying to find a boyfriend by, giving herself away because he takes me to the neighborhood and he's like, I'm gonna get you a girl, I got you, and da da da. And so he really must know these girls because we get around all these girls, and the one that he's talking about, I see her and I was like, yo, he better not be talking to her. And all these other girls were very pretty, and they're all related to her. And may she forgive me again. And I'm like, how is she related to the I'm telling you, like, and then they were all different colors and shapes, like one was Mexican, one was black, and then where I'm from, sometimes people be like, oh, that's my cousin, that's my cousin. So I don't know if it was that situation, but they were really acting like family. So I'm like, yo, how are you related? Yeah, but every, of course, where I'm from, and not even just where I'm from, just, you could have black cousins, you could have white cousins, you could have Chinese cousins, you could have Russian cousins, it doesn't matter. But I was just mind blown because if again her cousins were very pretty, all shapes, and I'm just looking at her like, may God forgive me, like what happened, God forgive me, may she forgive me, just telling my story. And so he's like, yo, bro, I'm telling you, see that one right there, and he's talking about the girl I'm telling you about, and he goes, if you tell her she's pretty, what I mean, you talk to her a little bit, she'll do it. And I'm like, does he know I can't feel? And for me personally, with my condition, because I can't feel it, to me, it's more of a mental thing. You know what I mean? I have to mentally be into you, mentally attracted to you. And that's how, I'm into a woman, sexually like I have to be attracted to her mentally because of my condition. I can't feel. So when I am in those predicaments, when the woman is enjoying herself, that's how I enjoy, blah, blah, blah. So if a woman is not pretty, I'm like, I'm not that into it, and I've obvious, and before my accident, I was like that too. So, anyways, I'm looking at the person and I'm like, bro, that's not going to happen. Like, what's wrong with you? And even before my accident, I wasn't the type to just, and my best friend sort of wasn't like that. You know what I mean? Like, he got with, don't get me wrong though, he got with beautiful women, more beautiful than me sometimes. He can get women I couldn't get. But what I mean is, if he was in a certain mode and he couldn't get around those beautiful women or those beautiful women weren't around, if he was around a woman that was willing and she's of age, his age, or older, it's a wrap. That man did not discriminate, and I personally wasn't like that even before my accident. So I'm like, bro, I'm not. What is wrong with you, bro? You know what I'm saying? Like, are you serious? Like, And he's like, bro, what is wrong with you? Like, and I don't know if he thought I could feel or something, and maybe he just thought because I'm in this situation. I just want to be with anybody or just somebody, just to experience it again. I don't know. But I'm like, bro, that's not happening, bro. Like, in my mind, I'm like, I'm not embarrassing myself because, in another situation, sometimes it's hard for me too to perform, to be honest, you know what I mean, because of the situation that I'm in, you know what I mean, because of my accident, it, I have to be really into you for things to happen, and you have to be doing what you correctly for it to stay, you know what I mean. So I'm like, I do not want to deal with that with somebody that I'm not attracted to, you know what I mean, like, what's no. So, man, and the girls, her cousins, that's how I know they knew what type of girl she was, because they're like, "Are you gonna go with my, cousin and da da da?" And I was like, "No, y'all don't got to worry about me." And they were sad about it. That's also why, like, wow, she must do this often around them. Because we meet with them, and then he tells her about me. She comes over, tries flirt with me, tries touching me, and then that's when I look at him like, "Bro, did you not hear me?" And so we walk to this, I forgot where this certain block, and we get in front of this house. And he must have been here before, because once we get in front of this house, he's like, "Bro, I'm gonna be right back." You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna take it to the back. You know what I mean? There's a basement that, a little shed. Where I'm from, some people have basements like in the ground. So you open the two doors and you go down, and then there's another door, and you're entering their basement of their house. But some you could open the door unless they had it locked. Most people didn't. I don't know why. So it was a situation like that. He opened it. They were, it was just in the back of the house. I don't know if they were. Obviously, I don't think they were there because nobody came out. So we waited in front. He walked to the back of the house and he opened the two doors. Then closed it with her. I don't know what light. There's light in there. I don't know. So he's in there with the girl, and I'm like, wow, this man does not discriminate. Like, wow, And her sister was pretty, and her sister was like, "Oh, I'm so glad that you're not doing that with my sister. Everybody does, and this and that, and you're different." And I'm like, she's flirting with me. She flirted with me. So I'm flirting with her, like, you don't gotta worry, she was cute to me, this and that. And so, she was like, "Can I get your number?" And I gave her my number. So my boy comes back, and, I tell him what happens. And he's like, "Oh, babe, you could hopefully hook up with the sister." So I'm like, "Yeah." So I get to talking to the sister, and we hit it off. And I'm like, hopefully and she says she's not. She's like, "I'm nothing like my sister. And me and my brother are opposites of each other. So I'm like, maybe it's true. Maybe she's the opposite of her sister. Maybe she's not like her sister. So, we're talking and talking, and then that's when she's like, "Hey, can you come see me?" And this, and that. And we've been talking for a while, and um, I'm not used to this. She goes, "Since we've been talking for a while, I want to be with you, this way and that way, and this, and the third." So, um, the first time, I'm pretty sure I forgot to mention this. It was the festival. It was one of the festivals. So she goes, "I'm gonna be at the festival, and it was the first festival that my best friend took me to. So in '06. So we're at the festival, and we're chilling with her and her sister. And I'm thinking that, I'm just remembering like a few weeks ago that he was with the sister. So I'm thinking he's gonna get with the sister and leave me to be with the sister that I'm talking to. So we're at the festival, we're talking, this, and that. And no, 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 no. This is before the festival. So I forgot how we met, but we met at one of he took me to his friend's house. And when we're at his friend's house, she ended up coming over there. And he puts me in the room, he gets everything ready, you know what I mean? Like, what I mean is, he was like, "Bro, you had to talk with her, right?" And he was so happy for me. Like, I noticed about my best friend back home, and I have a best friend, a brother here too, that's just like that, and I'm so blessed. So they want me to live life, and when I live life, and it's like they're living life with me. Like, they're they're when I'm enjoying myself, they're enjoying them. Like it's like they're like living through me, if that's a way. So my best friend was like that. Like he loved me having fun, and you'll see more stories I tell. So he's like, bro, did you talk to her? Did you set it up? You got everything ready? Like, what, like, can I get you ready? You know what I mean? And this, and the third. And I'm like, yeah, bro, like, get me right. She's gonna come in. This is gonna happen, or it's ready. So he does. He puts me in. He tells the homie like, hey, bro, he's gonna use your bed. I'm sorry, like, just wash your sheets. This, and that. So he gets me ready. He puts me in the bed. She comes in. Things are happening. And everything's working. So I'm like, whoa, you know what I mean? And of course, I can't feel it though. And I was hoping I was going to, but no. So she's doing what needs to be done. And I'm just watching, like, whoa. And then the freaking door opens and I saw a phone come in and I'm like, no. You know what I mean? And like I said, thank God it's not like today, because if it was like today, a video probably would be surfacing around, but it wasn't like today. And I don't even know what kind of phone was around in '06, but he was only my best friend's goofy self. Put the open the door slowly. She was facing me, and the door was behind her, so she didn't hear the door open. He opened it quietly, just put the phone around the corner and just took a picture. So, and it was crazy the picture he took, because the blanket that was on the bed was like and the blanket was over me. So of course she got under the blanket, and for some reason was using the blanket to hold over her, to keep her covered. And it was crazy because when she was holding the blanket up, so it was like a blanket that had like a bird on it, you know what I mean, or something like that, and the wings were right on the back, right where she was holding it, you know what I mean. So it looked like she was posing for the picture, like she knew that the picture was going to be taken, but she did, you know what I mean. And I doubt they had the talk of like, hey, I'm gonna take a picture of you while you're with my boy, and she was like, okay, you know what I mean. Anyway, so I'm telling you, it was crazy the picture he took, that he showed me, like, look what I took, bro. Why? So this is when I started to realize I don't think she's like her sister. So that was our one and only time being together, because after the picture was taken and after everything was, done and complete, we're laying together. I'm not making this up, people. This it's mind blowing how sick some people are. Like me and her, just blah blah blah. So I'm laying down, and I'm like laying towards the edge of the bed. She's right behind me, holding me. Her arm is holding my arm. That's when I hear the door open, and I'm acting like I'm asleep. Uh, I don't know why. I was like, man, I don't want to talk to her. I don't want to look at her. You know what I mean? Don't look at me. I want her to leave now. If anything, I don't know. So when she didn't leave right away, I was like, okay, let me just act like I'm sleeping. So I turned, and when I turned, she turned and grabbed me from behind. So she's holding me from behind. We just finished. We're supposed to be boyfriend and girlfriend too. I hear the door open, and my boy never confirmed this, so I don't know 100%. And I'm gonna tell you the second thing and then end it there. And that one I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure. Dude gets behind her and acts like he's going to sleep too. And I'm like, yo, bro, why would you get behind her? Like, that's freaking weird. You know what I'm saying? Yo, I just know the next 2 minutes after he gets behind her, her arm starts, moving forward, a forward and backward motion. And I'm like, no way. Like, did this dude just get in back of her and just start, what I think is happening? Like, what? So the second time is the festival. We're at the festival. We're boyfriend and girlfriend, supposedly. We're kissing, but that's when I found out she's just like her sister. You know what I mean? Like, anyway, so we're at the festival, and where for some reason we left the festival, and when we left, I don't know how this dude knew all types of places. Obviously, he was with women, while I was in the hospital. You know what I'm saying? And he just knew all these freaking destinations because we leave the festival and we go to this abandoned house. Creepy. We went to this neighborhood that wasn't, really had a lot of gangs in it, so we were good. We're at this abandoned house. I'm looking around. It was creepy. I'm like, bro, how did? And I don't know how he knows how to do these things. He knew how to get in. He got in, opened the door. He picks me up the stairs. He rolls me in. I'm rolling around this abandoned house. I'm creeped out. And then they get creeped out. So, that's when they were like, no, we don't want to be here. I didn't want to be there. That's when he was like, well, there's a car in the back too. Like, well, we had some marijuana. So he was like, let's go smoke in the it's like a station wagon, so we can go smoke in the station wagon. So I always have to be in the front seat in any car, in the passenger seat. It's just easy for me with the door and for the middle department, and I could just hold myself, because uh, I can't really balance my upper half because I'm a quad. So my arms are what balance me. If I was to fall forward, I got to catch myself because I can't just. It's my head that makes me rock back and forth. You know what I'm saying? It's not my body doing it. How you could just get up in the middle of the night and it's your back or whatever getting you up. I can't just sit up. I have to use my arms to get me up, if even possible, which is hard because of my back and the titanium. So he puts me in the passenger. What I'm used to, I'm thinking my girlfriend is gonna sit in the driver's seat next to me, but no, her sister sits next to me, and I'm like, why is her sister sitting next to me? So they get in the back seat. You know what I'm saying? And me and him had to talk because this happened already with my first girlfriend, the first girlfriend that I got after my accident. She was, oh gosh, she was pretty, and she was supposedly a virgin, and and that's the cousin situation. I told you we were hanging with his cousins, me and his brother, and that's when they were like, hey, do you guys know any girls you guys could da 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 in front of us and we could watch with the people? Weird. I don't know. And anyway, so yeah, he did that and I scolded him. I was like, bro, it's not easy for me to get girls now. Why would you do that? Don't sleep with don't go with my girls, bro. It's hard for me now. Like, I know that was cool before my accident, and unless we told each other like this girl's off limits, but if she does let you, like, is she off limits? So, and we didn't care if like, we knew, and like, we always had to talk like the day we get married, that's it. But bro, until we get married, like, these, if she wants to give it to you, bro, go for it. Obviously she's not loyal. So before my accident, it was a thing, but now I'm not able to do that, bro. I doubt any girl that's with him would just want to be with me because of my accident, and he can do what I cannot do, and I would think a woman would want to enjoy everything. So anyways, let me wrap it up and then get back to whatever happens after this. So, man, I'm in the front seat. We're smoking. We just sparked the blunt. And, because of my neighborhood, it's 139th. I told you there's train 9 and 49. So whenever we were doing something and we were on a speaking code, like, hey, bro, you doing it? You pulling a train 9? And that means, like, are you about to, do something crazy? Like, you about to rob this dude? You about to, are you doing something crazy back in that room? Like, you know what I'm saying? It means you're doing something, you know what I mean? Bad, or, to be, So, man, he sparks the blunt. As soon as the blunt is sparked, I hear zip, and I'm like, no way. And the next thing is I see her move from where she was sitting onto his lap, and they were sitting like right behind her sister. So, and it's a station wagon and the seats are all complete. So unless you like turn around, you can't see, but I don't know how I can see from the corner of my eye. So I see her from move onto his lap, and I'm like, bro, what? And that's when she slowly, goes up and down. And I'm like, yo, bro, is this girl really serious? Like, she's supposed to be my girlfriend. And now I really believe what I felt behind me. Like, oh, she definitely had, that happened when she was laying with me in bed and da da da. And I'm like, yo, bro, are you serious, bro? Like, she's supposed to be my girlfriend. I knew she was her sister, but I didn't think she was like her. Obviously she is. Unless she just wanted my best friend, because he's not an ugly dude, and everybody, If you wanted me, you wanted him. You wanted him, you know, 50-50 wanted me. I don't know. It was weird. I don't know. We had like the same charisma and same. It's very weird. Anyway, so I said, bro, are you pulling a train line? And he goes, yeah. That's when I was like, bro, I'm not passing him this blunt. I'm doming this blunt. Me and the sister. And why, when me and the sister were smoking together, and I felt disgusted smoking with the sister, I think I passed it to her when it was like a quarter, and I was like, here, you can keep it because I'm not passing it to you, and I'm not smoking with. I didn't say that, but so I'm smoking, and then I gave it to her. Anyways, so I'm like, hey, oh, why the whole time this is happening? And again, I'm gonna end this here and get back to it, And again, anyway. So she goes, my sister really likes you. I've never seen her like somebody this much. Are you taking my sister serious? Are y'all gonna be serious? I hope y'all become serious because again, she really likes you. If anything, I think she loves you. Like y'all should really be together. And then that's when you don't know how bad I want to be like, turn around. What is wrong with you? Like, raise y'all. Stuff. God forgive me. May they forgive me. That's why I'm not naming no names. And yeah, they were my best friend and her sister, I think yeah. So I'm just telling my story. I know this one's inappropriate, but again, the reason why is because I don't know what modern helps everyone feel. I'm not good with technology. I just put this one wasn't for children and it's telling me something. So anyways, again, just telling my story because I think it's crazy. And I hope it gets out there, you know what I mean, to motivate one person, if anything, before I leave this earth. If I could motivate one person, paralyzed, not paralyzed, game member, non-game member, you know what I mean? Anybody. I'm just telling it just to tell it because I think it's crazy. Been told to tell it. So, and I suck at writing. I keep forgetting what I'm writing. Obviously, I already forgot what I've been telling you guys. So I need to go through all my videos to make sure I'm not telling you guys the same stories. And yeah, just think it's crazy, motivational. I hope I inspire one person, and if not, millions. That'd be beautiful. Anyways, just yeah, tune in for next time. I'll be here. I know